Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you gave them everything you had, your time, your strength, your heart, and even when you had nothing left to give, you still wished you could give more? This is not a story of grand heroes or shining kingdoms. It's the story of a tree and a boy, a tree that loved without asking anything in return, a boy who kept taking, believing that love would never run out. And maybe that's what makes this story so human, because in life, we often forget. Love isn't about how much we receive, it's about how much we give, even when it hurts. So listen closely, for this is the story of the giving tree, a story that teaches us what it truly means to love, to lose, and to give until the very end. Once upon a time, in the quiet cradle of a green forest, there stood a tree, tall, graceful, and full of life. Her leaves whispered secrets to the wind, her branches danced under the sun, and her roots held the earth like a mother holding her child. But what made her happiest was a little boy. He would come running through the forest, barefoot and free, his laughter ringing like bells through the trees. And every time she heard that sound, the tree's branches would sway with joy, because her boy had come home. The boy would climb her trunk, swing from her branches, and rest in her shade when he was tired. He'd pluck her apples, shiny, red, and sweet, and share them with the wind. Sometimes he'd carve little hearts into her bark and whisper, "You're my best friend." And the tree would smile in silence, for she couldn't speak, but her heart could feel. And oh, how she loved that boy. Every rustle of her leaves was a song for him. Every apple that fell was a gift for him. Every shadow she cast was a shelter for him. And the boy loved her too, at least for a while. But time has a way of changing everything. The sun that once painted golden mornings now watched quietly as the boy came less and less. The tree waited, day after day, leaves whispering his name to the wind. But he did not come until one afternoon. There he was, older now, no laughter, no carefree smile, just a heavy look in his eyes. The tree trembled with joy, her branches reaching out like open arms. "Come, boy," she whispered in her rustling voice. "Come, climb up my trunk, swing from my branches, eat my apples, and be happy." But the boy sighed. "I'm too big to climb and play," he said softly. "I need money. I want to buy things and live happily." The tree paused. She didn't understand money, but she understood love. So she said, "Take my apples, dear boy. Sell them in the city. Then you'll have money and you'll be happy." And the boy did. He gathered every apple from her branches, filled his bag, smiled once, and walked away. The tree watched him go, her branches lighter, her heart emptier. But still she whispered to herself, "I gave him what I could, and he is happy. So I am happy." Seasons changed. The forest aged, and the little boy grew into a man. The tree still stood in her quiet corner of the woods, waiting, hoping. Each dawn she whispered to the wind, "Will he come today?" And one day he did. Her leaves trembled with joy, her heart leapt. Oh, how she had missed him. "Come, boy," she cried, her branches waving. "Come, climb up my trunk, swing from my branches, and be happy." But the man shook his head. "I'm too busy to climb trees," he said, his voice heavy, his eyes tired. "I need a house to keep my wife and children warm. I need a place that feels like home." The tree's heart ached. A home? She thought. Wasn't she his home once? But she didn't say it. Instead, She smiled through her sadness and whispered, "Cut off my branches, dear boy. Build your home and be happy." And so he did. He cut away her strong arms, the same arms that once lifted him to the sky. He carried them away on his back, piece by piece, until she stood bare against the wind. The forest grew quiet that night. The moonlight touched her scars, and still, she whispered, "He has a home now. He must be happy. And if he's happy, then I am too." Years passed again. The world changed. The seasons turned. And the tree, though older, weaker, still waited. Her branches were gone, her apples long forgotten, but her heart still beat quietly beneath the bark. Then one gray morning, footsteps, slow, heavy, familiar. The boy had come back, but he was no longer the boy she knew. His shoulders bent with time, his eyes carried storms of regret. "Come, boy," the tree whispered, though her voice was faint now, like wind through hollow wood. "Come and rest beneath my shade." He shook his head. "My life is dark," he said. "I want to sail far away from here. I want to leave everything behind and find peace." The tree listened, and her heart broke again. She wished she could hold him to remind him that love still lived here in her roots, in the soil beneath his feet. But instead, she said softly, "Cut down my trunk and build your boat. Then you can sail away and be happy." And the boy did. He cut her down, piece by piece, until only her roots remained, gripping the earth like fading memories. He built his boat, and before he left, he placed one hand on her stump and whispered, "Thank you." Then he sailed away, into the horizon, leaving behind a silence that no wind could fill. The forest sighed. The tree could no longer sway or sing or give, but deep within her roots she whispered once more, "If he has found peace, then I am happy." Many, many years had passed. The boy, now a man, now an old man, returned once more. His steps were slow, heavy with age, his hair silvered like the morning mist. His eyes, once bright with dreams, were now quiet pools of longing and regret. The tree, or what remained of her, saw him coming. All she had left was a stump, no apples, no branches, no trunk, just a place to sit. But her heart leapt anyway. "Come, boy," she whispered softly. "Sit down. Rest. I am here." The old man smiled faintly, a tired smile that carried the weight of a lifetime. "I don't need much now," he said. "Just a quiet place to sit and be at peace." And so he sat, on the stump of the tree that had loved him since the very beginning. For the first time in many years, the tree felt truly happy, not because she had given him apples, branches, or a trunk, but because she could give him this, a place to rest, a place to belong, and a love that had never wavered, even when everything else had been taken. And in that stillness, the boy and the tree shared a quiet understanding, a love so simple, so selfless, that it could never be measured, only felt. Because sometimes happiness isn't in what we take, or even what we give. It's in the quiet, knowing that love is enough. And so ends the story of the giving tree, a story that reminds us that love doesn't always ask for a return, that happiness isn't measured in what we take, but in what we give, selflessly, completely, with an open heart. Maybe we all have a tree in our lives, someone or something that loves us unconditionally. And maybe we all have moments when we forget to give back. But love, true love, never leaves. It waits quietly, patiently, and it teaches us that even in loss, even when we are empty, love itself is enough. So look around. Cherish the love that waits for you, silently rooting for your happiness. And remember, giving without expecting is one of the greatest gifts of all.